So, you're thinking of moving to Bluffton, South Carolina, and you want to know where all the neighborhoods are at. Well, that's perfect because that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Don't go anywhere. We're about to get started right now. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Low Country, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about everything happening here. My name is David Simcox, host of the channel and a local realtor. I get calls and emails every day from people like you and you and you, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or even 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below, so I can help you find your low country lifestyle. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going inside my computer and I'm going to be pulling up a map, and I'm going to very quickly and briefly go over every single neighborhood in Bluffton so you know exactly where they're at. We're not going into great detail, just going to show you where it's at on the map and roughly what the houses are selling for. So about 30 seconds to 1 minute per neighborhood. Let's go ahead and get started right now. All right, so this first neighborhood we're going to look at is called Alston Park, and Alston Park is right here off of this road right here, which is called New Riverside Road. It's down in the Pritchardville section of Bluffton. All of this area right here is Bluffton, just across the bridge from Hilton Head Island, and it's right down here at the end of May River Road, heading over towards Savannah, Georgia, which is just across the bridge. And Alston Park is right here, and I'll just show you prices in that neighborhood range from $374,900 all the way up to $499. So now let's move on to our next neighborhood. All right, our next neighborhood is called Baynard Park, and Baynard Park is right here off of the Bluffton Parkway. Those of you that have watched my videos might know you've got Highway 278 right here that runs all the way from I-95 over to Hilton Head Island. And then right through the middle of Bluffton, you've got Bluffton Parkway, which is kind of how the locals get from one end to the other. And this area right here is Baynard Park. And let's just pull up the prices so you can see roughly what you get for the money. All right, so Baynard Park, we are starting at $490. We've got some in the 500s, some in the 600s, some in the 700s. And it looks like the most expensive sale last year was $795,000. All right, let's keep going. All right, so next up on the list is Belfair, and Belfair is one of our private club communities, meaning it's very exclusive and high-end. They've got a private golf course out there that only the members can play at. And this is right here on the north side of 278. So again, 278 running from I-95 over to Hilton Head Island. And just on the north side, you've got Belfair. And again, Belfair, very exclusive, very high end. And you can see from the prices here that reflect that. Least expensive home last year, $705, quite a few in the 8s and 9s. And then they very quickly jump up into the $1 million range. And then it looks like 3 homes last year crossed into the $2 million range. So again, that is Belfair. Let's keep going. All right, next we have Berkeley Hall, and Berkeley Hall is right here on the north side of 278 also. And Berkeley Hall is also a private, exclusive, high-end golf club community. And it is unbelievable, absolutely beautiful. I have made videos about a lot of these individual neighborhoods. You could go back and watch if you want to, but again, this is on the north side of 278 running from I-95 over to Hilton Head Island. And let's look at prices for you real quick. One sale under $1 million last year, and then they quickly jump into the millions, and several sold just over $2 million last year. So that should give you a feel for Berkeley Hall. All right, now we are looking at Bluffton Park. And Bluffton Park is a great neighborhood because it's right here near Old Town. You can literally ride a golf cart or a bike over here to Old Town, all the shops and restaurants, or even my office. And this is one of the few neighborhoods in Bluffton that actually allows for short-term rentals. So if you're an investor, this is one you might want to look at. It's a really great community. One of my favorite things is during Halloween, they do some great trick-or-treating in that area. Let's look at prices just to give you a quick feel. A couple in the 300s, but then they quickly jump into the 400s. And then you've got quite a few in the 400s and a few in the 500s, and it looks like they capped out at about $550,000 last year. All right, moving on. Now we're in Colleton River Plantation, and this is our third private exclusive high-end golf club here on the north side of 278 in Bluffton, and this one is kind of out on this peninsula all by itself. Just before you get over to Hilton Head Island, and it is an absolutely beautiful exclusive club. Again, only the folks that live in there or are members of the golf club are able to play out there. And let's just quickly look at the prices in there to give you a feel. So it looks like one sale under $1 million last year, and then very quickly into the millions, and quite a few in the $2 million range. And it looks like actually one sale broke into the $3 million range at 3.79 last year. All right, next we are at Eagles Point, and Eagles Point is a golf club community, but it is a public golf course, so anybody can play out there. And it's right here on the north side of 278. And as you can see, just a little bit past 170 here, and we're going to zoom in and show you the prices in this community. So Eagles Point, we've got quite a few in the 400s, and then we've got a few in the 500s, and it looks like nothing has crossed into the 600s last year. So 400s and 500s. All right, next we are moving on to Edgefield, and Edgefield is right here. And so again, it's right off of the Bluffton Parkway, which we've talked about is kind of a road that intersects right through the middle of Bluffton and runs all the way from 170 all the way over here to actually you could take a flyover to get onto the bridge of Hilton Head. But great little neighborhood and tucked away back in here. And let's look at the prices. So definitely some affordable homes in here. 360,000 all the way up. Almost all of them are in the 300s, and you've got one home that crossed into the 400s. So if you're looking in the 300,000 range, this is definitely a neighborhood that you should be considering. All right, now we're in Hampton Hall, and this is again one of my favorite communities. I have shot videos about this neighborhood all by itself, but this is a private gated community with a private golf course. But the good thing is you don't have to join the golf course if you don't want to. It is golf optional. So it's very, very beautiful in there. A little bit bigger lots is one thing that people like about Hampton Hall. And as you can see, you actually enter the neighborhoods here off of Buckwalter Parkway, and it is right down here by May River Road, kind of right in the middle of Bluffton. So really convenient if you're commuting over to Bluffton, or even if you're heading over to Savannah to work. I know people that work in there and work over, or live in there and work over at Gulfstream, and I think it's a pretty good commute. Let's look at the prices to give you a feel for this. And it looks like one sale in the 400s, a couple in the 5s, but then they very quickly jump into the 6s and 7s and 8s, and then about halfway down we're in the $1 million range. And I would say that probably the vast majority of this neighborhood is in the $1 million plus range, but not crossing into the $2 million range yet. I'm sure this year we'll probably see that. Most expensive looks like it went for $1,999,900. All right, now we are directly next door, and we are at Hampton Lake. And Hampton Lake, again, right here off of Bluffton Parkway, just before you get over into the Pritchardville section of Bluffton. And again, this is kind of like next door to Hampton Hall, which we just talked about. There's no golf course here, but there are all these amazing lakes that go throughout the community, and you can actually do boating among many other amazing amenities in here. Again, I've made videos directly specifically about this neighborhood in general, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can to learn more. But let's just quickly look at the prices. So a couple in the 5s, but I'd say the vast majority are going to be 6s, 7s, 8s, 900s, and then they do cross into the $1 million plus range about halfway down. So probably over half the sales are in the $1 million plus range. And again, it looks like they capped out at about 1.985 million. Nothing crossing into the $2 million range, but I do definitely think that we're going to cross into the $2 million plus range this year in Hampton Lake. All right, now we are at Heritage at New Riverside. And Heritage at New Riverside is right here off of Highway 46, also known as May River Road. It's on this far side of Bluffton, so it's on the opposite side away from Hilton Head Island, but it is the closest neighborhood over here to Savannah, Georgia, just across the river. So a really great neighborhood if you're looking to commute to Savannah or even into Hardeeville. Also works well if you're commuting into Old Town Bluffton. But this is it right here, and also has access to the linear trail. So if you're a hiker or if you have a dog, definitely a great location. And real quickly, let's look at the prices. So some in the 300s, actually quite a few in the 300s, some in the 400s. And then looks like the most expensive sale last year was $520. So I would say the vast majority of this neighborhood is in the 400s and 500s. So I would consider this an affordable neighborhood for Bluffton. Comment down below and tell me if that is considered affordable where you live. All right, this next one is a fairly small neighborhood called Heritage Lakes, and this is right here off of Bluffton Parkway. So let's just real quickly zoom out so you can see where it's at. And then we're gonna zoom in and let's take a quick peek at the pricing. So Heritage Lakes, we are anywhere from 400,000, a couple in the 500s and a couple in the 600s. So not a lot of transactions. In the past year, only 11 sales. So again, not a huge neighborhood. All right, now we are in Island West. And again, this is a golf course community, but this is a public golf course. So again, not going to be saddled down with high expenses and huge monthly and annual POA dues for living in a private golf community. But again, it gives you the opportunity to live in a golf course community and still have access to that if you want it. It's right here on the south side of 278, and again 278 runs here from 95 over to Hilton Head Island. And let's just zoom into Island West and look at the prices. All right, so one sale under 500, but it looks like we've got a few in the 500s, some in the 600s, and a couple bumped up over 700 last year. All right, now we are in Lake Linden, and Lake Linden is right here off of Burnt Church Road, which has great proximity right here to Old Town, very close to the promenade, very close to my office, very close to all the shops and restaurants. So if you want to ride a golf cart to Old Town and experience all that lifestyle that's associated with that, Lake Linden might be a good option for you. And if we jump over here to the prices, you'll see also considered an affordable neighborhood for Bluffton. So we have some in the 300,000, some in the 400,000s, and one did bump up over 500,000 this past year. All right, so now we are out off of New Riverside Road. Again, this is out by the new high school, by the May River High School. And this is called the Lakes at New Riverside. And this is a new construction project. This is kind of a little bit more, I don't want to say remote or maybe rural feeling out here. So where all of Bluffton here is all very developed, this area right here off of New Riverside Road it feels a little more rural. It's not fully built out yet. One thing I love about this road that runs right here on New Riverside Road is there are biking and hiking trails that go through the woods all along this road for about 6 or 7 miles. And this neighborhood is right here. So again, pricing wise, there's a couple in the 300s, but mostly in the 4s and the 5s, and it looks like maybe the most expensive sale was right at about $599. Again, this is a new construction neighborhood, so if you like new construction, give me a call, send me an email, or shoot me a text, and I'll let you know all about the builder and kind of what it entails to do a new construction out there. And there might be some resales popping up from time to time. All right, now we are in Lawton Station, and Lawton Station is right here off of 170 over in the Pritchardville section. So this little traffic circle right here, there is a Publix grocery store among some other great little shopping in that area. And this is called the Pritchardville section of Bluffton, and it is the furthest away from Hilton Head over here, and it's about 6 or 7 miles away from Old Town, but also a great neighborhood if you are trying to commute over here to Savannah, Georgia for work. And it's a really cool community. I actually just did a video all about that, so if you want to go watch that one, you can, to get all the details. I would kind of consider this a move up neighborhood. It's a little above that kind of starter home pricing. We are starting in the 400s and then very quickly getting into the 500s and 600s and 700s, and it looks like they actually had a couple sales in the 800s last year. So great neighborhood. Go check out that video so you can learn more about that neighborhood specifically. All right, now we are over at Malin Bluff, and again, this is one of my favorite new construction communities, and this is kind of in the Okatee section of Bluffton. So we're up here north of 278, and again, 278 runs all along here over to Hilton Head Island, and this is up on the north side, so on 170, and this is a great community for everybody, but especially if people are commuting over here to Beaufort. So any of my military folks that maybe work at the air station, or even on Parris Island, or even at the hospital or the healthcare facilities over there, I think this is a really great option. And it's a new construction offered by Pointe. And one of the things I love about this neighborhood is they actually have a dock over here. It's called a day dock over on the river. So if you want to fish or shrimp or crab or go kayaking or anything like that, they do have a dock. And they're building an amenity center down by the water here, which is going to have a really nice swimming pool and I think pickleball. But great new construction, great modern floor plans, all the best layouts that people love, and I think pretty affordable prices. Maybe not an entry-level neighborhood, maybe a move up, but let's take a quick peek. They're getting close to being finished with this neighborhood, still some new construction opportunities, but mostly in the 400s here, and then they jump into the 500s and 600s, and it looks like nothing has crossed over 700 yet, but I bet it will when they get down here and they sell these ones right down here by the water. These lots on the water I think are still available. I don't know if they've released those yet. So just imagine 500s, 600s, and 700s to be brand new construction with access to a dock, and a great convenient location here off of 170 if you want to commute to Bluffton or over here to Beaufort or Ladies Island. All right, now we're at Mill Creek at Cypress Ridge, and this is actually the second largest community or second largest neighborhood in all of Bluffton. And this is over here in the Pritchardville section of Bluffton, right here off of 170. Down by the Pritchardville traffic circle, and again, you've got a Publix shopping center and some other shopping in this area right here, and really super convenient if you're commuting over here to Savannah. It's about 6 miles away from Old Town Bluffton over here, And the thing people love about this neighborhood is they have really great amenities. So they have this resort style pool here with a lazy river that goes around. They've got a 3-story fitness center. They've got tennis and pickleball and all kinds of fields, and you could go fishing in these ponds. And then they've got another pool and amenity center over on this side of the neighborhood. So if you, not just if you have kids, but if you have kids especially, this is an amazing neighborhood for amenities. But lots of, you know, everybody, single folks, retirees, everybody lives in here. But really a great lifestyle and a lot of bang for your buck in here. We've got a couple of sales for townhomes in there that were in the 200s, but then they jump into the 300s and 400s, and I'm sure we'll get down here into the 500s. And it looks like we had one sale jump into the 600s last year. So the majority of these are in the 400s and 500s, which makes it, you know, for Bluffton, a pretty affordable community. And also you can see there are quite a few transactions in here. So more inventory in this neighborhood, so more opportunities to purchase. All right, now we are in Oldfield, and Oldfield is also a private, gated, exclusive, high-end community, but the golf is optional here, which people love. But it is so beautiful out there. It's right here off of 170, again up by like the Okatee section of town, so north of 278, which we've talked about, and then right here off of 170. And again, this is kind of heading over towards Beaufort and Ladies Island. So if you want to spend some time in Beaufort and you want to spend some time in Bluffton, this is a great location. And people also love the Southern style architecture in this neighborhood. Big front porches and really huge oak trees draped in Spanish moss and just really oozing with Southern architecture and charm. We're going to pop over here to the results, and it looks like a couple in the 600s, but very quickly they jump into the 700s, 800s, 900s, $1 million plus, and one transaction in the $2 million range this past year. All right, now we are down in Palmetto Bluff, and I've made videos about Palmetto Bluff exclusively, and it is a world unto itself. When you go back there and you cross through the gate of Palmetto Bluff, you feel like you have entered into a world all to itself. There's over 20,000 acres in Palmetto Bluff. It's a very exclusive, high-end neighborhood. Behind its gates, they have their own shops, they have their own restaurants back there. They actually have the Montage Resort back there, which is very exclusive and beautiful, and all kinds of great amenities and golf courses and celebrity sightings, believe it or not. It is tucked way back in here, kind of on its own, but it is so beautiful out there. And let's just, it's right here off of May River Road is the entrance, but let's jump over here so you can see pricing. A couple in the 8s, but I would say definitely they're going to very quickly jump into the $1 million plus range. Then they jump into the 2 millions very quickly, 3 millions, 4 millions, 5 millions, 6 million, and it looks like we had one over 10 million. So like I said, this is a very exclusive area. There are resales available in this neighborhood, and also opportunities to build. So there's land for sale, there are lots for sale, and I can point you in the direction of a great builder if that's something you want to explore. All right, now we're jumping into Palmetto Pointe and also Palmetto Pointe Townes, which is right next door. I figured I'd go ahead and cover both of them at the same time. And this is right here in the Pritchardville section, tucked back behind this public shopping center. And it's a small community, but it's very private and definitely offers some affordable options. So you've got Palmetto Pointe, which is right here, and the Palmetto Pointe Townes, which is right here. And just to zoom out and give you a bigger picture, again, we're over here about 6 miles away from Old Town Bluffton in the Pritchardville section. Again, great spot if you need to commute over here to Savannah, Georgia. And pricing wise, we've got a couple in the 200s, but then quite a few in the 300s and 400s, and it looks like one house crossed into the 500s this past year. So we have standalone homes and townhomes in those two communities. All right, now we are looking at Pinecrest, and Pinecrest again is a golf course community, but it is a public golf course, so you are not going to be saddled down with huge POA fees. It's right here in the heart of Bluffton, so right about halfway in between Old Town and this Pritchardville area, smack dab in the middle. And as you can see, half of the community is on one side of Bluffton Parkway and half is on the other side of Bluffton Parkway. And let's look at the prices here. We've got one in the 300s, but definitely about half of them are in the 400s, and then about half of them are in the 600s, and then a couple of them did get up over 600,000 this past year. All right, so now we are looking at Riverbend, and again, I am going to talk about the main community that this is in later, but this is the custom home section of Sun City, and we'll talk about Sun City later, but this is a 55 and better community, and these are custom homes, and they actually have their own dock down on the river, so if you want that fishing or kayaking or anything like that, but they also have access to all of the amenities in Sun City, which is the largest 55 plus community in our area. It's right here off of 170. And so again, a great location if you're heading over to Beaufort or close to Bluffton, or even to jump on 95 and get down to Savannah. But again, these are custom homes. So let's just jump over here and you'll see pricing ranges, a couple in the 6s, but definitely some in the 700s, 800s, 900s, a couple in the millions, and one did actually cross over into the $2 million range this past year. All right, I'm just going to quickly touch on this one. This is Rose Dew, and it does have its own little private gate right here off of Highway 46, about halfway in between Old Town and Pritchardville. Very small community, but some bigger lot sizes. So if you want a little bit more room and you want to build a custom home, there might be a couple of lots available, or if you purchase a resale home, expect a little bit larger home and a little bit larger lot. Prices in here you can see are in the 800, 900, and one at 1.6 million. All right, now we are at Sandy Point, and again, this is just a small neighborhood right here off of Buckwalter Parkway, and I'm just going to quickly touch on this one because there's not that many sales, but you can see it's right smack dab in the middle of Bluffton and in the 300s. So definitely what would be considered an affordable or an entry-level neighborhood in Bluffton. All right, now we are back out off of New Riverside Road, and this is Southern Oaks. This community was built just in the last few years. It is fully built out right here near the Pritchardville section, and again, this New Riverside Road that runs here, and we talked about this is right here by May River High School. And let's look at the prices. Looks like we've got some in the 3s, some in the 4s, and a couple in the 5s. So definitely what would be considered somewhat of an affordable neighborhood in Bluffton. All right, so now we're at the largest community in all of Bluffton. And this is Sun City, which is an active 55 and better community. So only folks that are 55 and better can live in there. Tons of amenities. So probably $250 million worth of amenities, 150 different clubs you can join, swimming pools, golf courses, tennis, pickleball. I mean, anything and everything you would want to do, almost like a giant college campus for active retirees. I do a ton of business in there, and I've done a lot of videos on this. So if you want to learn more, it's right here, kind of in the Okatee section, the far side of Bluffton, before you get over here to I-95. And again, I could go on and on for probably an hour just about this one video, but you can see tons of inventory here. This is really one of the big things that makes Bluffton Bluffton. And I won't go into a ton of detail here, but there are pricing options for almost everybody. Some in the 200s, they get into the 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s. I've got 6 pages worth of results, probably everywhere from $300,000 all the way up to $1 million in this neighborhood. But definitely tons of options. And if you want to learn more about Sun City, send me an email, shoot me a text, or book a Zoom call, all in the description below. All right, we're back here on the north side of 278 now. We're at the Crescent. And the Crescent, again, is a golf course community, but it is public, and you are not required to join that. So a really good option if you want to live in a golf course community, but you don't want to be forced to join a golf club. And pricing here, we've got homes in the 600s, 700, 800, and one in the 900,000 range. There were 17 transactions last year. All right, now we are at a place called the Farm at Buckwalter. And again, this is going to be somewhat of an entry level or an affordable neighborhood in the Bluffton area. Right here, kind of smack dab in the middle of Bluffton. So here's Old Town, here's Pritchardville, and it's kind of down on the south side, right off of May River Road, and you enter off of Buckwalter Parkway. And you can see quite a few transactions in here. And let me jump over to the results and show you the prices. So we've got some in the 200s, quite a few in the 300s and 400s. So 300 and 400,000 is definitely considered entry level for Bluffton. All right, now this is called the Haven at New Riverside, and this is kind of the sister community to Sun City. It was also developed by Del Webb, but it does not have access to the other Sun City amenities. They have their own set of amenities out here, which is this resort style pool. They've got a fitness center, they've got pickleball, they've got tennis. For people that are active adults and they may not want to live in Sun City with like 25, 30,000 other folks, it's a little bit smaller and a little bit larger lots. And also they allow fencing. So for people that have dogs and Sun City doesn't allow fences, this is a great option for them. It's right here off that New Riverside Road, which we talked about, right over here in Pritchardville. And let's just jump over here so you can see the prices. One or two in the 400s, but they jump quickly into the 500s, 600s, and a couple in the 700s. All right, this one is called the Townes at Buckwalter. And again, just like it sounds, these are townhouses. This is Buckwalter Parkway, right off of the Bluffton Parkway, smack dab in the middle of Bluffton. And again, this is going to offer an affordable option. So if I zoom over here and zoom into the results, you can see these are townhomes, and we've got a few of them in the 200,000s, and then the rest of them are in the low 300,000s. Most expensive 355,000. So, all right, and here we've got the Walk at Bluffton Square. This is right here within a short golf cart ride from Old Town Bluffton, and a fairly new community, fairly small community too. I'll just go quickly and zoom in on this so you can see. Looks like last year there were only 6 transactions, but they ranged in the 600,000s and 700,000s. But great if you want to ride a golf cart to Old Town. All right, so now we are over here at University Park and University Place. And this is right here behind the college, which is USCB. And also a great option if you have to commute over here to I-95. It's kind of on the far side of Bluffton, as far away as you can get from Old Town before you leave Bluffton and enter into Hardeeville, but definitely still gets you in the Bluffton schools and also an affordable price. So these are actually 2 separate communities, but for the sake of time, I put them together. This area right up front is called University Place, and the part in the back is called University Park. They actually pay 2 separate POA fees, but for the point of time here, I just wanted to put them together. And again, this is going to be an affordable kind of entry-level neighborhood for Bluffton. You've got one in the 200s, some in the 3s and 4s, but not a ton of transactions last year, only 9 sales, but definitely a great option for affordability. All right, so this is called Washington Square, and it's right here off of Buckwalter Parkway. This is a new development, a new project they're doing here. They've got, I think it's called Low Country Fresh right here, which is a great market and restaurant. They're putting in a luxury Starbucks in here. They're gonna have, I think, a boutique hotel and some other shopping. But right here, kind of in the center of Bluffton, up by getting close to 278. And these are all townhomes, all brand new construction. And if you want to be able to walk to like restaurants and shops that they're building here, could be a great option. And pricing wise, in the 400s and a couple in the 500s. And they still do have a few for sale. So give me a call if that's something that interests you. All right, now we're in Westbury Park, which is right here just below 278. Great central location. This neighborhood's been around for a while. Very beautiful in there. People absolutely love it. You can see it's kind of right in the middle of Bluffton. Great location if you have to commute off of 278. Last year, looks like there were 11 sales, and they were priced in the 300s and 400s. So kind of an entry-level neighborhood as well for Bluffton. All right, now we're at our very last community, and this is called Woodbridge. And Woodbridge is a little bit older community. It's been around for a while, so the homes tend to be just a few years older. Right here off of Buckwalter Parkway, kind of up by the movie theaters and just across from Washington Square, those townhomes that we just talked about. But definitely bigger lots, feels more spread out. As you can see, there's lots of woods and kind of preserve land around here. So if you want bigger lots and you want a little bit more like a feel of nature, I think this is a great option. And also prices are pretty good in here. So you've got one in the 300s, or a couple in the 300s, 400s, and one that crossed into 500. But if you want a good bit of square footage and a big lot in a fairly affordable price, perhaps Woodbridge is a good option for you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that map tour from A to Z, almost every single neighborhood in Bluffton. Again, if I can help you find your low country lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, or shoot me a text. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest happening here, be sure and like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you'll know every time we drop a new video. My name is David Simcox, a local realtor and host of this channel. It's been an absolute pleasure spending time with you. I hope to see you on the next video, or maybe even in person at some point. Have a great day.